Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Doujinshi, and welcome back to another episode of Hentai Reviews, the only series where we take ourselves 100% seriously. Honk. So today, we are going to be stepping into, well, we should, huh, hmm, should we? I'm kind of a little off with the schedule, I'm not gonna lie. I've been gone for a little bit, and getting back into the rhythm's a little weird. But there is something a little strange. Yeah. Today we're going to be doing what I'd like to call a pseudo-sequel to a series called ℌ𝔢𝔫𝔱𝔞𝔦 no Liliana-san, which, personally, from my own experience, I rated incredibly high because I view it as just well done. It's just great. Across the board, I do not find a lot of faults with it. I love the character, I love the girl, I love the dynamic, and I love the time spread for how everything is spaced out. This series is... I wouldn't even call this a series. This feels like two separate things that then had a light novel, like... Not a light novel, a virtual novel made about it. And it just seemed very interesting at the time. So, let's go ahead and get into the review. Today we're going to be reviewing episode 1, well, really the only episode of Tonari no I no Anette-san. If I'm butchering that, like I said before, white. So, the series itself is very simple, and I wouldn't say it's anywhere close to Liliana-san. But there is a reason it's here. A little bit of a tie-in, if you could say. You see, this episode starts off by, well, it's made by our friends over at Pink Pineapple that are just doing an amazing job. It has a myriad of categories running at about 25 minutes-ish in length, but it stays very close to the vanilla format. Numerous tags that go across it could be, I'd say, cosplay, maid, and dark skin. Amazing trilogy. You see, the episode itself starts off with the main character opening the door to somebody knocking, who's to open the door? Anette-san herself, who is immediately introduced. How best can I describe her? White hair, dark skin, huge boobs, and a very, very kind personality. Like, she's just the nicest person. She has no right to be this nice. But, continuing on with the theme of the whole thing, as soon as he shows up, the main character says, "Oh my god, you're so attractive. Can I touch your boobs?" And she's like, "What?" And then it kind of goes into this weird, like, worshipping thing that kind of, like, drives up her ego into being like, "No, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Oh no, I don't really, well, maybe." And then she goes into his house where he's still praising her over her immense beauty and says, "Please, can I at least see you in this?" And then he pulls out a bikini strap, and it's a little weird. So then he immediately just gets it put onto her, which then immediately leads to them in a very tense scenario that leads to them being like, "Alright, stop pussyfooting around. We're getting to this." Which leads to scene number 1. Scene number 1 starts at 2 minutes and 10 seconds and goes all the way to 5 minutes and 40 seconds, running about 3.5 minutes long. I wouldn't say there's much special that goes on in here, but it is nice to immediately get the establishing of what you can expect. And then, afterwards, I gotta say, the series kind of has these interspersed little bits of time that lead directly into sex. Like, there's almost... It's diminishing. Because right after that scene, he comes home from work a little bit later to see that Annette is in his house and is cooking him dinner, being very kind and dressed very modestly, and just being an overall nice person. And he says, "Holy shit, she's so kind and pretty and nice." please sleep with me again. And then he goes for it, and she's like, alright. Which leads into scene number 2. Scene number 2 starts at 6 minutes and 40 seconds and goes all the way to 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Lasting a little, well, pretty sure that's 4 minutes and 10 seconds. But there's a slight little, 15-second pause in the middle of it that I wouldn't really count, but it still makes up the greater part of it. But then after that scene, it immediately goes to the both of them. I'm pretty sure they're still naked in this scene, really. But it leads to the girl being like, hey, before we do anything, I just want to let you know, don't be forceful about this. You don't need to be super forceful about this. There's no reason to be super forceful about this. I am willingly giving you literally everything that's right here. Yes, I know you really like it, but you don't need to be so damn pushy about it. Just ask. I will 100% sleep with you. And then he's like, You make a good point. Would you like to sleep with me? She says yes. And then it leads to the probably longest scene I've seen in forever. Like, holy shit. I don't normally rat on vanilla, but when vanilla lasts for 14 minutes straight, it's pretty Jesus fuck. Like, you want to take some time, maybe switch up the properties a little bit, and maybe get a little bit more going into it, but scene number 3 starts and ends the entire series, starting at 11 minutes and 10 seconds and goes all the way to 24 minutes and 25 seconds, running at about 13 minutes and 15 seconds, I believe, totaling up to more than 17 minutes of this entire thing being just complete sex. If I'm being honest, 18 minutes, really, of this 25-minute thing. There's 7 minutes total, and most of it is in the beginning and the credits. Everything past that is just them going at it like rabbits. I don't know what this guy's on, but fuck, I might need to borrow it. But nonetheless, yeah, that's where the series ends. Damn, dude. Respect for just the amount of time you put into this whole thing. And her, for that matter. Jesus fuck, there's no cooldown time on her at all. Or him. They're just they're just robot rabbits. No cooldown, no nothing, just going at it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the review. So let's go ahead and cut over to that screen. Now, let's go ahead and get into the animation. I'd say the animation is very well done for a series such as this. It doesn't necessarily hit anime levels. I mean, it does hit anime levels, but this wouldn't be the animation that you would bring in for its praise in animation. There's nothing really that I can compare it to, because there's something about it. Well, there is a few that I can compare it to, but they're also being reviewed on this channel. It's very well done for the fact that there's a lot of different camera lights, or there's a lot of different lighting sections from different spots of it that also come from thin line usage across the entire thing. It makes things feel more dynamic, even though they're only turning their head to the side. There's really not a lot of dynamicy that goes on, but it's a nice visual trick that, like, holds you in. And I'd say it's damn appreciated. I give the animation in this a solid 8 out of 10, and yeah, solid overall. So now let's go ahead and get into characters and story, or story and characters, whichever one you want to say. Now, what I can say is that you get a gleaning of the characters' personalities through the whole thing. The story is pretty much hot neighbor, yes, I'll sleep with you, go together. There's not really much going on there. It's the average 15-minute video on the hub, really. But this series, there's something about, like, the characters that you kind of get. They're little inner splicings of dialogue throughout the whole thing, make you get a very good sense of feeling of who they are. The main character is or the male character, is pushy, but unnecessarily. He doesn't mean to. It's just kind of the idiocy that's in him that's like, hey, I fucking worship you for how pretty you are. And the female character, Annette, is very smart and aware of everything. She's just not forceful enough to say anything. She's a very soft person, and she's so cute. I'd say the characters in this whole thing are well done. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. If there was more than just, hi, I'm the neighbor, I'm also a neighbor, then yeah, I'd give them more. But at the moment, 7 out of 10, nice point across. Now let's go ahead and get to what we're all really here for. The plot. The plot is vanilla as fuck. But it takes up so much damn time with so many different angles to work with. And the girl is so cute through the whole thing that I can't help but give it anything less than a 7. So that's where it's going to be. It's a 7 out of 10 for just... There's nothing else that I can say about it. It's just so genuine and sweet. This is like, when I say vanilla, I mean like the taste of vanilla, the sweetness of it, the likability of just vanilla. And there's nothing that's wrong with that. Even though I do need to branch out and get more non-vanilla stuff, but it's hard getting through this mask to find something that's a little bit, not so Christian friendly, if we'll say. But yeah, I'd give it there. Solid overall, I'd give it a 7 out of 10 if we average the numbers and get it to where it is. It's well done, and it is damn good. I wouldn't recommend it over ℌ𝔢𝔫𝔱𝔞𝔦 no Liliana-san. I'd say it's a solid... It's second place, but there's just so much more intimacy in the first one than this. And next, we are not going to be going back to Black Bible. We will in a bit, but I found something that is that's definitely supposed to come after this one. So, until then, I guess I'll see you guys later. Thank you for everybody. As of now, we are at 130 subscribers. Holy fuck. And by the way, the support on my last 2 videos has been, the last 3 actually, has been fucking nuts. And I thank each and every one of you who is here, not here, watched it for 10 seconds, then left, or watched till the very end. All of you are awesome, and I can't thank you enough. So, with that being the end of the whole thing, I'd like to say goodbye. Thank y'all for being here, and remember, have a nice day, don't be a dick, there's too many of them, and wash your fucking hands. I've been the doctor. Peace.